morning, guys. It is a weird time. Quarantine 2020. Today, I figured we would get ready together. I am staying home. Don't have anywhere to go. I figured I'd put on makeup because it makes me feel good. All right, I'm just gonna start off with the makeup and then we'll kind of get into everything in chat. The first thing I'm going to be using is this Tatcha liquid silk canvas. So this is like the first thing I've ever tried from Tatcha, and I did get this from Influencer, and this is so freaking good. I was afraid this was gonna happen because it is a really pricey product, but this will blur your skin like no other. You can like see I have like pores here, so we're just gonna like press this into the skin. I've never used the putty one before, but I love this one, and I think it is formulated for oily skin. I don't know, I just really like the way this makes my skin look and feel. Okay, so I actually have like newer things to share that I want to talk about, but we'll like chat in between too. The next newer product I have is this Kosas concealer. I forget the name of this, but I'm in the shade 3.5. This is like a touch too dark for me right now. I can make this work with just like blending it out. I did use the e.l.f. hydrating concealer in my last makeup video, and that is so good. Okay, that is way more concealer than I normally wear. I don't know why I did that. Just kind of spread this out to other areas of my face. Okay, yeah, so anyway, so what I was saying is that the e.l.f. hydrating concealer is bomb, and it's super inexpensive. I think it's like $6. I did not try the other one because I'm not a fan of like matte under eye concealers. I'd rather have a little bit less coverage and a little bit more like emollient texture under my eyes. Anyway, the reason I brought that up is I do feel like they are pretty similar, and the e.l.f. one is obviously much cheaper. The Kosas one does have, I believe, like skincare benefits and like additional things like that, but if you're not interested in that in a concealer, definitely check out the e.l.f. one. And then also this sponge is amazing. This is the e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge, and at first I was like, oh, this is really soft. I don't know. I felt like there wasn't enough like substance to it to get like a good blend. Sometimes when sponges are like really soft, they don't blend out the product well, but this, what a duo. Also, don't mind that random paint swatch on the back of that shelf over there. I am testing out a paint color. I think I'm going to paint it that whole color. Okay, so what I originally like kind of wanted to talk about was just like this weird ass time that we're in right now. I saw this quote which, you know, has been floating around, and it's just saying that like once everything dies down, it's going to seem like everything is an overreaction, and no, and that just means what we were doing was working. So I just want to reiterate again, and of course, if you can, I know not everybody can stay home. I had to cut half of my income, essentially, more than half actually. I cut more than half of my income during this time. So it sucks, and I understand, but we owe the most vulnerable people in our society to do whatever we can to help stop the spread of this. Vinny is still working, obviously. He's got to go to work. That brings me to another point. I just want to thank all of, everyone, people who are in grocery stores, pharmacies, obviously doctors, nurses, any other type of healthcare professional. Anyone who's kind of holding down the fort for all of us in this time. We really appreciate you. I really appreciate you, and thank you. All right, real quick before I go into my next tangent, I'm going to be using the Cover FX bronzer drops in Sunkissed. These are fantastic. I think these were a product that were released like years ago, and then they were just re-released again. These blend out perfectly. The color is spot on, beautiful bronze. Just love this. So I'm just going to take like a drop or two on my little palette here. My brother lives in Italy, and so you know, I'd spoken to him, and he was saying before any of this quarantine stuff was happening in the US, he was telling me that they were already in quarantine, and at that point I think this was like a week ago, and I feel like a lot of people here weren't really like paying attention, and for me that was really stressful because I'm trying to explain to like the people around me, not so much my husband, he doesn't need me to explain coronavirus to him, just other people. They I don't think they understood like the extent of it. Yeah, and then kind of when the shit started hitting the fan here, because we had a little bit of a slower response. I honestly, I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just rambling. But it feels good to put makeup on today. I feel like I'm transforming into a human. Speaking of transformations, I've been watching The Outsider, and I think I'm on like episode 6 or so. It started out really, really good, and then I feel like it kind of slowed down a little bit in the middle, but then it got good again. I've heard a lot of people say they lost interest in the show. I really like it, so I've been watching that. I've been doing a lot of like spring cleaning. I'm going to be decluttering all of my curly hair products, so that I'm going to be filming too soon. I'm all over the place. I didn't wrap up any of my thoughts. All I'm saying is that it's okay to be cautious and protect yourself, but more importantly, we have to protect everyone else around us, and that's just the only way that this is going to subside, and we're going to be able to get a better handle on it. But don't forget to be kind to people. And something else that I wanted to say on the other side of this is that as much as I've been seeing things that have induced a lot of anxiety in me, I've also been seeing a lot of positive. Just the way that like a lot of people have been coming together. Large corporations have been changing their supply chains, changing the way things are done so that people can have like a safer experience. And I think it's really cool, and I think that will be the positive out of this. And that's just kind of like what I'm focusing on right now. It doesn't matter how much money you make, what color you are, where you live, like everyone can be affected by this, or you know, whether it's directly or indirectly. And if you look for the positive in this situation, you will find it, because there are a lot of people and like I said, businesses, corporations that are reacting in ways that just remind me, you know, that we're all connected and we're all in this together. So yeah, okay, anyway. So the next thing I'm actually going to grab is this Kosas cream blush and highlighter. I just ordered 2 more of these. I have a powder and a cream already. This one is in Tropical Equinox. These are $20 right now, or they were when I ordered them. I think normally they're like $34. So this is Tropical Equinox, as I said. I'm just going to take my sponge again, go into this blush color. So I'm trying to think of what else I've been watching. Oh, I've been watching On My Block. That's actually really funny. I didn't know if I was gonna love it because it's about like high school kids. I'm just taking the highlight now on the other side. But it's really good. I've really been liking that. Vinny and I have both been watching that, actually. We've both been enjoying it. Oh, Paradise PD Season 2 came out on Netflix. We finished that. Been watching our usual Rick and Morty. After I finished The Outsider, I still haven't watched Season 2 of Mindhunter, so I'm really excited to start that up. This is going to be so nice for the summer. Just like a beautiful, like sun-kissed, ugh, look. I'm just going to take a little bit of the Sheer Tint Finishing Powder by e.l.f. just to set my T-zone. For my brows, I have been loving the Nude Stick Stylus again. This was an old favorite of mine, and I pulled it out, and I have been loving it. Also, I really like that brow lamination treatment that I did. This has made my brows, just like I said in that video, just more visible, like individually, so they look more fanned out and fluffy. I really love it. I would definitely do it again. Something else that I've also been loving, I showed this in my last video too. This is the brow styling soap. Can't speak. The brow styling soap. This is from Amazon. I think it was like really cheap, and I got 2 of these. This will hold your brows in place like all freaking day. So alright, so the last thing I'm going to do is just curl my eyelashes. I have not been wearing mascara lately. I just like to curl my lashes and leave it at that. I feel like when I put mascara on, it just draws attention to the fact that my lashes are already shorter. So if I'm just kind of like curling them, it still just opens my eyes up, and I feel like it makes my eyes just look bigger because the actual mascara isn't closing off the shape. I don't know. That's just my observation. Alright guys, so that is going to wrap up today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed getting ready with me today. Hopefully this was a nice little distraction for you. Yeah, I mean, it's just been kind of weird. Like I feel weird posting on Instagram. I feel weird posting videos, but then I was thinking like people are home and they probably want someone to take their mind off of things. So I hope that that has done this for you today. I'd love for you guys to leave recommendations of podcasts, books, movies, TV shows. I'm sure a lot of people will appreciate that, myself included. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, for just being you and being amazing. I want you all to stay safe, and I will see you guys next time.